Hello, you're listening to a We Will Fix It podcast short with Colin Thomas and myself, James Piecowye.
A bit on Google reviews.
Yeah, let's do it.
Have you got time?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. Now, the reason that I want to talk about Google reviews is it's a bit of a sore point with us, to say the least. So what we had a really interesting scenario now about 3 months ago, where we've had over 700 reviews now, and then we hit 3 1-stars in a row. Okay. 2 of the 1-stars were totally unjustified. And again, we weren't too sure. In fact, no, we are sure now that they are not customers. That was the big question mark. The third one, we had a bad day. And you know what? Justified. We'll happily take that one on the chin. Now, the problem that you have is, so we are currently, in terms of the numbers that we have got of each number, our vast majority, and I'm talking probably over 90%, are 5 stars. Okay. Now, those 3 reviews, 2 of which we know were bogus, and we know that, sorry, just so that we're clear, we know that because for one of the guys, he'd done 22 reviews, all of other maintenance companies, all of which were 1 star. So he has employed 23 maintenance companies to be able to make that conclusion. Well, no, he hasn't. He's obviously in the industry and trying to rubbish other people to push himself up. So that one. Now, when you try and feed this back to Google, nothing happens.
Of course not.
Okay, and we've tried it from lots of different perspectives. We've tried it through lots of different communication channels. But basically, unless it is the ultimate horrific kind, which would be graphic in terms of language or subject matter, they have just whitewashed what's going on. Now, the problem, therefore, is the algorithm, which basically goes a 1 star, when you have a lot of reviews, takes a huge number to be able to equate with a 5 star. To give you a rough idea, now, at the level we're at, from what we've been able to work out, we think 1 star equals 120 5 stars.
Wow.
That's insane.
That's
utterly insane. So we currently have had 42 5-star reviews in a row, and it's done nothing. Absolutely nothing to be able to counteract a scenario which was 1 bad review, which was 4 months ago, and 2 that are still there because Google won't act. Now, the problem that we have is we know that customers now use Google reviews as their main method of deciding outside of word of mouth. They use their main method of deciding. So it is crucial to us as a business that we maintain a good Google review. However, we have no control over, from where we are right now, 66% of negative reviews. And what we want to do is when somebody does have a bad experience, and a genuine bad experience, because it's going to happen, we do 100 jobs a day. So even if we're running at 1%, and if you imagine with old units, you are going to have situations where we go there, we repair it, and something else happens because they're old units. It's not that we're at fault. So in that situation, we want to engage with the customer and we want to put it right. Well, that's our only interest. We want to put things right. Well, the problem is that the way that Google operates currently, it's very difficult for a company to be able to do that.
Which has a huge effect, not only on people looking you up, but the people who work with you.
Absolutely. So we now celebrate every single Google review that comes in. In our weekly meeting. It is read out, and that there was a round of applause that is given for the technicians who are there. We also now are aware that customer service training is more important than ever by a massive margin. So now every week we are doing customer service training with all staff.
Wow.
And if it is not immaculate, we will do it again and again and again. And then when it is immaculate, we're going to do it again and again and again to keep it immaculate. That is the level now that we
That's
need
amazing,
to be
isn't
at.
it? Like how change has happened in the last 10 years.
Well, what we realized after the initial fury of the whole Google review situation, and we were furious. because it does affect you. Going from 4.6 to 4.5 sounds like nothing, but actually in a competitive market, that's really critical.
Well, because when you Google, home repair in Dubai, and all of 10 places come up, and they start getting ranked by reviews.
Yes, and also they don't clearly show you how many reviews it is.
No.
So 5-star reviews, you get 5.0.
Yeah.
That is higher than us with over 700 reviews at 4.5.
Yeah.
So we're now at that stage where we've always taken it very seriously, but Facebook is no longer providing a numerically based review system. And that used to be the gold standard. And to be fair to Facebook, they were much more interactive in terms of the way that they operated, and we could interact and talk to them when there was something that was out. Now that's all gone. Wow. So the only thing that we can do is to promote more Google reviews, because we know when people review us, 99 times out of 100, it's going to be positive. And secondly, to make sure that our guys are better than they ever have been in terms of delivering that customer service. We know we're very good at doing the job, but in terms of the customer service side, that is what we need to carry on working on.
So be honest with the reviews. That's the key.
Yeah, it is. And it's so important to the businesses you're reviewing.
And as you said, as you're looking at reviews, look to see how many reviews there are. Because it's easy to go with, they're the top. And then you say, it's 4 people.
And if you see a 1-star review without at least a paragraph or two to explain why,
ignore it.
Absolutely ignore it. Because there is so many that are fake reviews. It is unbelievable. There's outfits that are out there that you can literally pay a very small fee to get 200 5-star reviews to fudge your numbers.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know. And that's where we're at. Well, we are categoric that we will not do that.
Yeah.
But if you imagine some of our competitors,
there we go.